Hey folks, I'm back. This is going to be very short video. So what is it that we are building in this application? So given a video, how can we condense that video to of a shorter size without affecting its quality using FFmpeg WebAssembly? So the reason why I am creating this video is recently I've been trying to share a short version of the videos or a WhatsApp status and onto Twitter. They have a cap of 10 MB on WhatsApp and a duration of 120 seconds on Twitter. So I need a way to compress the videos. I was compressing them multiple times to reach this criteria and then publishing it. Okay, fine. So why not quickly build a tool which will help me condense these videos, and that is what this video is about. So if you guys are curious about FFmpeg and its commands which helps us do this all in our web browser, so this video is for you guys. If not, that's fine. Okay, so let's see this now, how this can be done. So just opening the application. So this is the simple application, the condensed videos application. So let's directly see how quickly we can condense the video for specific to my Twitter platform and onto WhatsApp status. Okay, so if I just click on this condense now, I have an option to upload the video and the properties that I can apply on the video that I'm going to upload. One is to remove audio from the video or condense for Twitter so that I can get the video and then I can publish that video onto Twitter. And the option to condense for WhatsApp status, that is, it's going to reduce the size of the file to less than 10 MB so that I can share for a WhatsApp status. And option to control the quality while we are trying to condense. It can be high, medium or low, and the format that you want the video file, MP4, MKV and all those formats that the video comes in. Okay, so let's just see this in action. So I'm going to select a video which is of size 80 MB nearly. So I wanted to condense this for WhatsApp status, and also I just wanted to trim to only specific duration, let's say 40 seconds. Okay, and I just selected this. If not, we can just select the quality and the format and then condense this. So I'm very particular about this for WhatsApp status. So once I click on condense, so the video that I have uploaded, it's going to help me reduce the size of the video to less than 10 MB so that I can use it in upload or WhatsApp status. So let's wait for it to give me a result. It's condensing, so I'm just waiting for that. Yep, so there we go. We have this the condensed video which reduced all the way from 80 MB to 3.9 MB. That's too low because I trimmed the video also. So this is what exactly I need. So all I can do is just download this video and then go ahead and use this to upload to WhatsApp status. The same applies for Twitter, so I can condense this as well. So condensing this for Twitter, I can download that and use that to upload. So this is a simple application. So I'm just going to clear this out. So way to condense the video to the platform that I'm going to use. So this is going to be very quick, and just interesting thing is how can we use FFmpeg WebAssembly so that we can run all of the commands that we usually perform using video editors and all that stuff on our local systems, but this is going to do everything in our web browser, and that is the speciality of this application. Like I said, very minimal and very good to know application. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so let's start building as usual. So I'm on the terminal. So let's create the new application. So I'm just going to name that as the condense videos. Let's Yeah, so as usual we'll just choose the default suggestions and waiting for us to get the boilerplate code. So once it is installed, so we'll just get started with this application. Okay, so then I am opening this one. In the editor, and let me just run this. Okay, fine. So now we have this. I'm just going to minimize this terminal. Let's have this output in the right hand part. Okay, fine. Yes, so now let's just have this output in the right hand side and the here. So the layout, this is what the layout is. Fine. So in here now let's just add in remove this default whatever we have here. I'm just going to remove all of this, and also in the layout, so just remove this background color. So going to this global.css, let's just remove all of this whatever we have in here. Yeah, okay, fine. So now going to the root layout, let's first have the navbar component, and then I can add in here. Okay, and so that it's going to be common for our landing page and the video page. So those are the two pages that we are going to have. That one, let me add in here this new folder called this components, and here I'm just going to create a new file called navbar.tsx. Okay, fine. So in this it's going to be just simple. We'll use the nav element and have our title and the button or kind of like link to route to our video page. Okay, so that's what we'll be having in here. Let's export this navbar component, and inside this I'm just going to wrap everything inside our nav semantic element. Okay, and in here let's have a div, and I'm just going to add in some link here. For first, let's say the title, which is going to be home page. So let's have the title in this p tag. I'm just going to say this as a condense. Okay, I'm just going to use this component inside this layout. Okay, let's just import this one. Okay, yeah, this is the now the title. You can see the condense. Okay, so now we need to style this. That's okay. Let's first, for this, make this as a fixed, and also the top, I want it to be at the top, and let's have some left or the 6, and if it's a larger screen, let's have this left to have more space, 8, and also the right. Okay, now same, if for larger screen, let's have more space from the right part of the screen. Padding, I'm just going to add in y direction some 6, and for larger screen let's have some more padding, 8, and no, I'm just going to add in 0 padding at the bottom, and that index to be 30, so that it, whenever we are scrolling down, it appears at the top of those components. Okay, fine, but we don't see any big difference. That's because the div that we're trying to wrap in the condense and also the the button or link component to navigate to our video page should be styled. Okay, so this one, let's have this width full, and also I'm just going to add in this border. Okay, yep, and let's have this border color as a gray or 200, and I'm just going to add in this padding of 3. Now fine, it's looking good. And if it's a larger screen, padding of 4, and maximum width I'm going to restrict it to like 5 times XL, so that it doesn't take more space than this. And also the background color, I'm going to add in this gray color, like this is the color that will add in. And also this backdrop, let's apply this LG. Okay, and if it's a smaller screen, I'm going to make this as a grid, else the display it's going to be the flex, so that we'll have the text here and the button over there, the link button. And the content, let's apply this as the justify between. I can add in justify in, so that they'll be at the extreme end. That's fine. Okay, fine. Like if it's a smaller screen, I said grid, but how many columns? Also let's add in the 3 columns. Okay, so that if there is something in center, we can, that also works better. Then items, center. Okay, fine. And margin in the X direction auto. Okay, fine. And the corners I want it to be rounded, so let's have this rounded 2 times extra large. Fine. That's the nav div. Okay, now this one, the link, let's just have this again flex. I'm just going to make this also item center and gap of 2. So this, I'm just making this as a flex. Let's say you wanted to add in a logo, so it works better. Okay, fine. And for this one, font, let's make this as a semi bold. And text, if it's a smaller, let's have this size as extra large. Okay, fine. Now below this, I'm just going to wrap this have this empty placeholder for now. We can add some like features and other text and all. We don't have, I just don't want to add that, so I'm just leaving that as a placeholder. And finally this div, it's going to be the condense now button, so I'm just going to wrap that inside this link. And href, let's have this the video page, which we don't have yet. And now inside this, the title that I'm going to add in is this condense now. Okay, fine. And this should be at the right end, so that one I can do that by just making this one flex, and also let's add in some gap of 4 item center. So let's say I'm having multiple things inside this, and also I'm adding like a link for features and another about section and all of that things normally we see on nav bar. You can add this. Okay, but that's fine. So now let me just style this one. So I'm just going to make this as a flex, justify, let's apply this end. So now it's at the end of the section, so now that's what we want. And I'm just leaving this as item center, but now the button should be styled, so that is the link component. This one, I'm just going to apply the background for that, the radial gradient, colors. Okay, so before even that, let's add in the padding and also the text color and also the so the text, let's let's add in some padding of 3.5 and in y direction 2.5. okay, and also let me just apply the size of the text to be smaller. okay, fine. And the font type, let's have this medium. And focus effect, so focus this outline, let's set this to none. This one you'll understand this better when I have this the radiant background. So let me just apply that. So background, this is what I'm going to add in. okay, and now the color that I need to apply, so this from zinc, let's say 700. okay, and via this zinc 950. okay, okay, fine. And now all we need to do this two part, so like transition from the color via which color to finally the color. So this is going to be let's say 950. okay, yep. So now the corners, let's make this as the rounded color. And okay, rounded corners, we have that. And if I make this text color as white, we should be good. So I'm just making this as text white. Yeah, so now it's looking better. And also let me just make this as a relative. And also the focus, the part which we apply the outline none, let's also add in the ring effect also. So on focus, the ring, let's say 2. And also the offset, I'm just going to add in the offset effect also, this offset, let's say 2. And this transition is in out effect, and for the duration of let's say 500. And this ring color, I want it to be zinc, let's say this 950. And flex, just apply this shrink. okay, fine. I think this should be fine now. So if I just yeah, okay. So now we have this navbar component. I think that's okay. So landing page, I'll come back later, so that's not important for us. The thing that is important for us is the video page. So let me just create in here this video page, and inside this I'm going to add in this page.tsx. and here this is where we are supposed to have our component. So I'm just going to create this as the let's just try to return this empty div for now. I'm just going to wrap in inside this div like the condense video page, and let's just export this one, the page. okay, and now I'm just going to navigate these two video. okay, so this is where it is. Yeah, now we need to work on the components of this. And also this one, let's make this as a relative. okay, so I'm going to create in here this div, make this as a relative. And inside this, let's just add in this navbar and our children components. okay, so for that to work, we need to focus on this video page. So this one, the first thing that I'm going to add in is going to be the component that we need for selecting a video file, kind of like drop zone that I need to create in okay. This can be done only if I use so for now, for this one we will use React drop zone comp library, so that I can quickly have a the section where we can upload the file and all. So I'm just going to import the component for that. So let's add in not a component, the library. Okay, so the components related to this video, I'm just going to create in here this new folder. Let's name this as the components, and inside this I'm going to create a new file called like the custom drop zone. That's where we'll use the React drop zone from React drop zone library, and we will try to create that. So this, let me name this as custom drop zone.tsx. okay, fine, and I'm just going to make this as a client component because I'm going to maintain some state variables here. Okay, so the props that we will be expecting for this component, it's going to be a callback function. Once we receive the file, what are we supposed to do, and the accepted files, and whether this is disabled or not. Okay, so this is self-explanatory. So the custom drop zone props, okay, so inside this the function to handle the upload, here we'll be having this list of files, and this return type, it's going to be the void, and then the accepted files. The accepted files, okay, this is going to be an object with a key of type the string, and the values, it's going to be a string array, and finally whether this is disabled or not, so which it's going to be an optional, and also the boolean. Okay, so now we have this prop, so I'm just going to create in here this function which is this custom drop zone function, and here I'm just going to use this prop. So let me just have this, okay, and inside this, and let's just destructure this, and I'll upload accepted files and disable. Okay, so now inside this so what is it I'm going to add? It's going to be simple application, simple div. So all we are going to do is use this React the drop zone. So let me just import this this React drop zone from this React drop zone, and here for this we need to pass in the props for this. First is whether this is disabled or not, that's why we just added the prop for this component. And the callback function, what are we supposed to do on dropping any files onto this, and all of that. For that let's create simple callback function here. I'm going to name this as this on drop. So this is what I'll be just using, this on drop. So we'll be receiving this list of the files, and all we are going to do is pass on these files to this callback function, and I'll upload. And also I wanted to keep track of whether the user is hovering over this drop zone component or not. So for that, why I wanted to have that is just to have some effect, like it is in that section, like I'll highlight some border as a black, or background change some color and all that stuff. So let's just have this simple state variable, which is going to be is over, and this is going to be set is over. So it's just the standard way for us to maintain state variables. So the boolean, and I'm just going to make this as the false. Okay, fine. And also here on drop, what I wanted to set the over as false. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just going to have for simpler function. So let me add in two functions here. This is going to be just a way to set this hover variable. So this is to handle hovering and then exiting this hover section. Okay, so let me just add in this simple function so that it will be easier for me to refer them in these functions. Okay, so this one we are just going to set this to false. Okay, so and here on drop I'm just going to call this handle exit over. Okay, fine. And here the function that we have on drop, I'm just going to pass in this, and now the on drag enter, why I created this handle hover, now you'll understand. So on drag enter, I'm just going to pass on this handle over function, and same for the on drag leave handle exit over. Okay, yep. And the accept, just to mention which are the accepted files, just the video, so that will be setting as a prop for this component, and then we will accept only that files. And now multiple, no, I'm just going to set this one to false. And also what are we supposed to do on if there is any error, and also if the user tries to reject the file that he has dropped into this section. Okay, so that needs to be handled here. On error, what I'm going to do is simple. I'm just going to exit this from this hover section, and also let's just try to show a simple message in the form of a toast, something like error uploading files and all. Okay, so that one, let's install this sonar like we normally do in our application. Okay, and I'm just going to import this sonar toast from this. Okay, and now okay, and this one, I'm just going to use this error function here. This needs to be not default import. Okay, yep. So here on error, like I said, I'm just going to add in the simple error message, error this uploading your files. Okay, yep. And here the description, I'm just going to add in like upload files. It's going to be just audio or video and images, though we are just showcasing it for videos, so that's fine. Okay, and this duration, the toast, I'm just going to add in this 500 milliseconds. That's for on error. And also the same thing for drop rejected. I'm just going to change the function name and also the error message on drop rejected. Okay, and here error uploading your files, and I'm just going to change this duration, and let's have the same message. Okay, that's fine. So here I'm just going to add in this on error, and also on drop rejected. Let's add this. Yep. This is the simple thing. Now inside this, I need to add a div with the root props and also the input props and all that stuff. So this is going to be a simple, so in here whatever this root props and this input props, I'm just going to use this and attach to this div whatever the root props that we have, and along with this the styling for this, which I will come back to styling. Okay, and here this input we need to attach in this input props for this. Okay, now we should be good, and below this I'm just going to add in the text and all that thing. Let's try to wrap this inside this, like click to select video or something like this. I'll just add more info here later. So now this we are going to use inside one of our the core main component, kind of like, let's say the condense component or whatever it is. So let me just create that inside this. So I'm just going to name this as condense video.tsx, and here let's have this as this condense video, and here quickly let's try to use this component which we just created. Okay, and I just wanted to wrap everything inside this framer motion div so that it looks better. We have some the animate initial and the transition better. Okay, so I'm just going to add in this the framer motion, and let's wrap everything inside this motion.div. So we need to import this motion.div. Okay, let me just import this one from framer motion. So import motion from this framer motion. Okay, fine, and inside this we will have the component which we just created. So I'm just going to import that custom drop zone, and we need to pass in the accepted files and also handle upload and disabled, which that is optional. So let's create the accepted the files and handle upload function, just the placeholders for now, so that we can pass in for this. For this I'm going to create a callback function here for this handle. Let's name that as something like upload. Later I'll just change this. So here we are receiving this file, and what to do inside this we will worry about this later. And this one I can just pass on this function for this handle upload, and the other thing is the accepted files, the optional one I can just leave that for now. For accepted, let's try to maintain a constant variable for now. Okay, that should be an object, and with the key value list of the string values. So let's create a simple utils folder, and inside that I'm just going to create a constant variable for that. Let's name this as the formats.ts, and here I'm just going to name this as the accepted video files, and here this it's going to be for now just the video files. Okay, and the format for that I'm just going to create in here this list. So video format. Okay, let's just add in this like mp4 the MOV, okay, and the other formats for now I can just leave this, okay, MKV and all. We can add more formats in here, okay, and I'm just going to attach in this video format. So now we have this, and for this accepted files I can just import this one and pass in here accepted video files. This one this condensed video component, we need to use this. So let me do one thing. I'm just going to import this one dynamically into our video page, okay. So for us to do that, I can use this dynamic from this next dynamic thing, okay. So I can just say this as this condensed video, so dynamic, and here all I'm going to do is import here the video and the components, and inside this the condensed video, okay. And after this the SSR, I'm just going to set this one to false, okay. Now I have this, and I can just use this to in place of this the empty text which I added. I'm just going to use this, which is going to be this condensed video, okay. What is the issue? Okay, there is an issue on supported server component type module. Okay, let's go to this. Yeah, I need to export this one, so that's why we are seeing this issue. And now okay, and also there's a problem in the way I'm passing in this handle upload function for this. Okay, the issue is I need to specify this as client component, only then we can make it work, okay. Yep, and now we are not saying anything because I need to style in this video page main div, only then we can see that properly. So first of all let's add in some padding at the top, let's say 32, okay, and have some margin in the x direction, and also this max width, like we restricted the navbar. I'm just going to set this to 5 pixel, okay. So now at least it's just below this the navbar, and this div let's make this as a grid, okay. And also if it's the larger screen, the columns that I wanted to have is 8 and gap of 10, okay. And the height, let's say I'm going to calculate this dynamically using this, whatever we have this 100 vertical height, I'm going to subtract this one by 130 pixel, okay, fine. And this is going to be our dynamic height, and so let's have some padding at the bottom, some 10, okay. This one you will see this reflecting in UI once we add the styling to our condensed video component, which I will do it in a while, okay. And this padding in the x direction, let's have this 0 on flex, direction to be column, okay. The main styling for the div is that's fine. Now going to this condensed video component, for this one we need to style the div for a custom drop zone component and all, only then it starts to look better. let's do one thing. So going to this component, the div wherever we have here, let's try to style this. Okay, let's make this dynamic. That's the reason we add in this the is hovers the variable also. So if it's hovering, so I'm just going to add in this border color to be let's say black color, and also this background to be of gray color. Okay, by 80. Okay, else if it's not hovering, we'll just have this border or this default gray color. Okay, fine. And now make this as the flex component, and also justify. I'm going to center this. Fine. And also this items, I'm just going to make this center, flex direction to be column, and cursor, let's make this as a pointer. Width, let's have this full, and padding in the y direction 6. Okay, and finally I'm just going to add in this if it is disabled cursor, I'm just going to add in this as not allowed, else the empty thing. Okay, now inside this we are supposed to see that component after this text. For this also, let's do one thing. Make this text to be a center, and also this margin top. Okay, fine. And here I'm just going to add in some text below also, like let's say just some more text. You can add it or ignore this. Below this, like drag video and drop. Okay, so this is the thing. Now I think at least this component we are good, but the actual component where we are trying to wrap in that, if we just handle that, it should start to look better. So the div which we try to wrap this one, let's add in some border for this. Okay, yeah, this is the border. And also the border, I wanted to make this as the 3 times rounded, and also the column span, let's say I wanted to take 5. Okay, yep, now it's starting to look better. And also make this as a flex, and the width, let's make this also as a full. And if it's a medium height, I'm going to set this one to full height. Background color, let's make this as a gray, little bit grayer, like 35. Okay, yep. Yeah, so now you can see this the drop, it's working fine. And the other things is I just need to add in some icon into our custom drop zone component, so that it looks like we are trying to collect some video and all. So let's do one thing. So I'm just going to prepare a simple svg icon. Okay, yeah, let's name here itself. I'm just going to create some component called like this as like projector.tsx, and here I'm just going to use some simple svg. Okay, so let me just use simple svg icon, and we'll use this as the icon into our component. So just going to this, now below this input I can just add in this this projector, and now it should start to look better. Yeah, okay, so this is the drop zone section. Okay, fine. Now we have this the custom drop zone component in place, and now the right side section, the inputs, the controls, like removing audio and like condensing for Twitter, WhatsApp, and all those things we need to work on. So that one, going to this the condense video, and also I need a way for me to let's say I select this video. Once we select, we need a way to show that video here. Okay, and also we should store that video file that the user is trying to add in. So for that, I'm just going to add in this state variable. Let's name this as this video file, set video file. Okay, and this one, it's going to be of type, let's say I'm just going to create one type for this which will have file name, file size, from, and all those things. Like normally I want the file type to be that one. Also here in utils, I'm just going to create a new file called this types.ts, and let's just create one type for that. Let's name this as the file actions, which is going to be a file of type file, and the name of the file, the string, and the size of the file. So we are supposed to show this on our screen, and also this from the string and the file type. I'm going to this one again going to be of type string. Is there any error? Again, let's make this as the optional, and this is going to be of type boolean. The URL, this is again the string. Finally this output, and the output a blob. Okay, yeah, this one, it's going to be of type blob. So now we have this, and so this is going to be of type this, the file actions which we just prepared. Okay, so this is where we will be trying to store the file that the user is trying to upload. This one, we need to update this variable when the user is trying to upload the file. So this is the function, the handle upload, and here I'm just going to use this the set video file, and whatever we receive here, this file name, which is going to be the file dot name, and this file size, this file dot size, from this file dot name or dot, I'm just going to slice this to file dot name or last index, okay, of this dot, and I'm just going to subtract by 1, and here, okay, yep, and after this file type, which would be simple, this file dot type, and this file, and finally this error, I'm just going to set this to false. Okay, so this is how we'll be setting it. And now once I have the file received into this video file variable, we need to show that let's have a simple component kind of which helps me to display the video that the user is trying to upload. Here I'm just going to create in here this video display.tsx. okay, and simply let's quickly create this as this video or display component, and here we are going to send in this video URL, and this one, it's going to be of type the string. Let's just mention this, yep, and inside this, all I'm going to do is use this video and this ID. For this, I'm just going to add in this as condense of this video player, and the controls, let's just pass in this. And here for the source, I'm just going to attach the URL that we receive as the prop. In this type, it's going to be this video slash mp4. okay, fine. And yeah, let's see this here. inside our. Now based upon this condition, I need to change this thing. So basically, if we have here inside this, if we have this video file, I'm going to use this video display component and pass in this video URL, which we are going to create the object URL using this video file dot the file. Okay, else I'm going to showcase this custom drop join component. So let's move this to here. Let's just check this. So if I just upload this one, yeah, so okay, fine. So let me just refresh this one. Yep, the display is also in place. Next thing, and also just a bit styling for this, let's make this height of this video component and width also full. Okay, so just and I'm just going to make this rounded 3 times XL the corners. Okay, that's fine. So now we have this the display component also. So going back to this the compressed the condensed video component. Next thing is the controls. The video input control we need to show, and also the input details if the file is there, like the name of the file, size of the file, and the option to trim and all that stuff. Okay, so that one, what I'm going to do, let's have just below this the animate presence from this frame motion and this mode. I'm just going to apply this pop layout, and inside this let's have this everything wrapped inside this div. The initial, animate, and transition we are going to apply later at the end. Okay, let's not worry about that. And also whatever the styling that I have for this, I'm just going to copy this thing completely. Okay, except that column span, let's just we have the 8 totally, 5 for the drop section and 3 for this. And also I'm just going to make this as the relative and some padding in all directions. Okay, yep, okay, yes. Now inside this if we have this video file, then I need to show in here the details of the file, like the size of it, the name of the file and all inside this fragment. So let's first work on the showcasing the video details. I'm going to create a simple component for that also. Let's name this as video input details, video input details .tsx. Okay, this also let's name this as this video input details, and the props for this I'm going to send in the video file, and which is going to be of type this file actions, and then the on clear or callback function. Okay, to just clear whatever the file that user has inputted. And this one I'm just going to destructure and on clear. And inside this again, everything I'm just going to wrap this inside this motion dot div. So let me just import this from this framer motion. Okay, and this one, fine, and first thing, the title inside this div, I'm going to have the div with the text as the file input. Okay, later I'll just style this. Okay, so now this I'm going to use inside our condense video here. Let me just video input details. Okay, for this one we need to pass in this video file which we have, and on clear callback function which we don't have, so I'm just going to pass in this empty callback thing. So if I just refresh this, we are supposed to, yeah, we have here right hand side that the thing, but the details now we don't have this video file. So if I just upload the some file, yep, we have here the file input. Let's just have this video on so that we can see the output of this. After this, I'm going to add in a simple button on to just clear that. Let's name this as the clear. Okay, and this needs to be styled. Whatever the styling that we have for our the navbar section. So opening this, for this one I'm just going to take the styling that we have and apply for this button. Okay, yep, so it's looking good. Okay, that's clear. And the type, let's make this as the button, and on click we are supposed to call the callback function, which is the on clear, that is this, and this should be next to each other. For that we are going to make this div as the flex, and also I wanted to make this as the justify between, and let's just center this thing. Okay, and I'm going to have some border at the bottom, margin at the bottom also. Let's have some 2 and padding also. Okay, fine. Yep, and whatever the text that we are going to enter inside this div, I want it to be of size smaller. Fine. Now below this div I'm going to show the name of the file. So here let's have this which is going to be this video file, and the file name. Okay, and this styling for this, let's have again some border at the bottom, and margin, and also the padding at the bottom. Okay, this width should be full. That we will take care, that shouldn't be problem. Okay, fine. After this I'm going to add in a div which showcases the size of the file. So here the file size, and here we need to show in a better human readable. So I need to convert the bytes whatever I receive in the file to into format like which is readable, like KB, MB, GB, TB and all that stuff. So let's have a simple util function for that. I'm going to create in here this as the bytes to size .ts. Okay, and let's just name this function as this bytes to size. This we are going to send in this bytes as the input, and in return I'm just going to return here the string. Inside this, let's prepare this sizes array which can be of this bytes, kilobytes, and this MB, then GB and TB. So I'm just going to add in this values, and here if the bytes that we are receiving is 0, so I'm just going to return the string as this 0 byte. That should be the thing that we are supposed to return. And now I need to convert this, so for what I'm going to do, use this bytes by this 1024. Okay, so that's this conversion. And now the size, it's going to be simple, whatever the bytes by this math dot power of this 1024 to the index, and let me just round off to this 2. Okay, and finally what I'm going to do, I'm just going to return this size and the value accordingly, which is the sizes of that index. Okay, yeah, now this one I can just use this function which I have just written to show in a better human readable way. So this bytes to size which I just created, video file dot this file size. Okay, so if I just upload some file here, yeah, you can see it's showcasing in 3.91 MB. That's the size of the file. Okay, and yep, and the coming down to this, let's make this one as a flex so that they are next to each other, flex, and also this justify between, and items, let's just center them. Okay, and I'm just going to apply the styling for this div. Let's make this rounded thing, and also padding in the x direction. Okay, and in the y direction also. I'm just going to add in this height. Let's apply this thing, and background color, I'm just going to add in this gray, and have this border, and also this border color I'm going to say gray 200. Okay, yeah, so that's just the simple styling for this one. So now we have this the video input details. Okay, and going down to this condensed video, so this one to look better, let's try to wrap this one inside a div, and I'm just going to make this as a flex, direction to column, and gap of 4, and width to be full. Okay, and now we'll try to wrap this one inside this div so that it occupies whole width. Yep, so file input, the capsule, the name of the file, and the size. Okay, so after this we need to have a component which helps us to trim the video. Okay, so that also I'm just going to create a new component inside this. So let's just have this as this video or trim.tsx, and for this the props that we'll be sending is the video settings and the option of the callback function to update those video settings, and whether this is disabled or not. Okay, so I think I'm just going to create a type for that, this video or trim props, and this one video settings which would be of type this video let's create again type for this because I need to have a type for video input settings, because we'll be additionally adding the quality type, and also the formats of the video, and the start time to keep track of in the trim part and the end part and all that stuff. So quickly, if I just create in the common file, so we can just refer to the components wherever we need. So here I'm just going to create this enum first for this quality type, this it's going to be the high, which it's the value of 15, and this values I'm going to explain what does those mean while I'm trying to write a command, the FFmpeg commands, and I'm going to explain what each this value represents. Okay, fine. And here this low 20, fine. And the video formats also I'm just going to create enum for that. Okay, so this the mp4, I'm just going to add in only few things like mp4 and this mkv format, and then the mov format and avi format, which is this avi format, and the flv, which is going to be this flb and webm. Okay, so yep, so fine. So now we have this quality type and video formats, and finally we can prepare the video input settings for the whole right hand section. Okay, so here this, let me just name this as this video input settings. Here this quality, this is going to be quality type, and the video type, this is going to be the video formats. Then the custom end time for trimming things. Okay, the video part, this is going to be a number, and the custom start time, which is again going to be a number, and the boolean, whether to remove audio or not. So I am going to add in this remove audio boolean variable here, and then the boolean variable, whether this is a command for compressing for Twitter or the condensing for WhatsApp status. Okay, so let me add in this as the Twitter compression command. Okay, this is for this, and the WhatsApp status compression command. Okay, so this is again, I'm just going to make this as a boolean. Okay, now we have the type for this video input. So going back here, I can just import this video input settings in our video trim component. So once I have this and the callback function to update the same, so on video settings change. So here this value that we are going to send, it's going to be of type this video input settings, and the return type the void, and then this disable, it's going to be of type boolean. Okay, yep. Now I'm just going to create this component. Let's name this as this video trim, and we'll attach in this props, which is going to be, let's just use this props which we have, and inside this first thing, I'm going to create a state variable to capture the video end time. Okay, and the accordingly update the start and end time using our slider component. Okay, so the slider component, let's create a simple video slider component for that. Now so slider component, for that let's just try to add in this the shardcn into our application, and I'm just going to have the default suggestions. Okay, so let's just wait for it to install dependencies. Yep, okay, fine. And here what I wanted to have this is, I just wanted to create the same way like he wraps using the forward ref custom component, kind of like video slider. So inside this I'm just going to create in here this new folder called UI, and here let me just create this one, video slider dot tsx. Okay, so here first thing, let's make this as the client side component, and also the component name, this is going to be the video slider, and I'm just going to import this star as React from this React. Okay, and use this now the forward ref, and this we are going to attach in. So let me just two things. One is going to be of this element ref, so which it's going to be of type the slider primitive, so that one we are going to install from this radix UI. So this radix UI, this React slider. So let me just install that, and here I'm just going to add in this slider primitive from this React slider which we just installed, and here I'm going to attach in this the root thing. Okay, and after this the component without props ref. Okay, so this React props without ref, I'm just going to attach in here again this type of slider primitive root. And now inside this, let's have this class name and other props, and then the reference. Yep, and here I'm just going to use this the root and attach in this ref, and the styling for this, let's make this dynamic. So I'm just going to import this cn from this libutils. The library okay, this is where it is, this one. So I'm just going to import this one from this library utils. Okay, just a minute, there's a lot of typing issues. Okay, let me just, that's fine, I'm just going to import in this way this library utils. Okay, this one, why is this? Okay, let's just import relatively, that should be fine. Okay, yeah, fine. So now this one, I'm just going to make this as the relative and flex and width full. Okay, and this touch to be none, and this select, let's apply this none, and the items I'm just going to center them, and the other, whatever the class name, we are just going to apply here, and the other props, let me just attach in here. Inside this we'll be having a slider primitive track component. The drag. Okay, and again this one I'm just going to make this as a relative height. You will understand all of this, so it's just little bit component styling, and then we'll have that in a while. Okay, in a while. And here I'm just going to make this rounded medium, and here now this the range actual thing, and now we should make this as the absolute. And height I'm just going to set this to full, and background let's make this as a gray color, like 300 by 60. Fine. Now inside this I'm just going to add in the SVG icon, kind of like a drag like we saw in the UI. Okay, so that is what I'm just going to add in here. You can just refer from the description. So this is the SVG icon, and after this I think we're almost done. I'm just going to add in this the thumb things. Okay, and so this slider primitive dot this thumb. Okay, all we are going to do is make this block, and height of 9, width let's say 5 pixel, and let's add this border, and border I'm just going to make this as this transparent, rounded let's say the left like 2 times extra large, and background make this as a black, and this transition colors I'm just going to apply that. And then this focus effect I'm just going to like focus visible effect, let's have outline to be none. Okay, so I'm just going to add in this, and this focus visible let's have this ring 1 effect, and also the rings color, let's say the slate of the 950, and also if disabled let's have this pointer effects none, and the disabled opacity I'm going to set this to 50, and cursor to be pointer. Okay, so this is for the left side, so you will see what is this in a while. Okay, and the same thing I'm just going to add in for the right side, except that the border it's going to be at the right. Okay, so whatever we have it's going to be the same, except that this rounded should be at the right side, and rest I'm just going to leave this as it is. Okay, so now we have this the component that we have, and I can just have this display name to be set it to this slider primitive root dot this display name, and I'm just going to export this video slider. Okay, and I think we should be good now to use this inside our video trim component. Going to this video trim again, so here let me just try to wrap everything using this motion div. So wherever I'm just going to have this motion div thing. Okay, and let me just close this component. Okay, so this motion div. So inside this let's first have a title. I'm going to wrap this inside this div like we normally did. So this title it's going to be this trim video. Okay, what is this error? Okay, I need to import this, that's one thing. So this motion, which is going to be this from framer motion. Okay, and now this one let me just try to add in here so that we'll be able to see inside our UI. So after this input details I'm just going to add in the component which is this video trim, and for this we need to pass in this props disable this. For now I'm just going to send in all of the callback the placeholders. Okay, and video settings also I'm just going to just let's add in this. We need to maintain one variable for this. Okay, let's do that. Okay, anyhow we need to do that. So here I'm just going to maintain a state variable for that also, naming this as this video settings, set video settings. Okay, and this one, let's just use this video input settings, and by default we need to set some values for this. The quality, this one I'm going to set by default this high, and this video type, let's set this one to, so let me just import this video formats to MP4. Okay, did I not have this MP4? Okay, this should be MP4. Okay, so going here, yeah, I'm just setting this as the MP4, and then the custom end time, let's set this to 0, custom start time to 0, and then the remove audio to false, and the Twitter compression command, it's also the false, and this WhatsApp status compression command as false. Okay, so we have this, so I can just pass on this one now, video settings. Now we shouldn't see any issues, so let me just import the video here. Yeah, we have this title, so now let's just go here and try to complete this component. So inside this, after this thing, I'm going to wrap everything inside this div, the component that we just prepared, the video slider. Okay, I need to import this one, so this one, let me import this from components UI, and I have in here video slider. Okay, so fine. So this is the component that I'm going to use this now, and for this we need to pass in the props. Okay, so this is the thing, so let me just add in here this disabled. I'm going to should pass in here the value. So for now let's just set this to, so let's just check, is it working? Okay, I should have the right hand side, so there is something that is missing here for the thumb. So the right part, we had it around right side. Okay, I think it's okay. Fine, that's fine. So going here, the props that needs to be passed, I'm going to pass in, actually we are sending the value as 0 0, that's why they both are at the left side. That's the issue. So if I add in this value of, let's say 0, and this one to 10, and we should have this. Yeah, okay, fine. This one needs to be the dynamic values, like custom start time and custom end time. So I need to have those values. So what are we going to do is, let's get this props, video settings, on video settings change, and then the disable. Okay, so here let me just have this state variable to keep track of video end time. Okay, so this is for that video end time, and this let me just this is video end time. Okay, by default I'm going to set this to 0, And now the I'm just going to destructure the custom end time and custom start time so that I can pass them to our slider component here using our this video settings. Here let's pass in this custom start time, custom end time. Okay, and here this start time and end time, how are we calculating it? Okay, this needs to be calculated in the format like in hours, minutes and seconds. So since we need for start time and end time, it will be better if we create something like reusable function receiving seconds as the input param, and we are going to return in the formatted format. Okay, so in the utils folder I think there's an issue, so for now let me just comment this. Okay, so here let me just create this function as time converter dot ts. In here, like I said, let's just name this as the calculate time in the format. So I'm just going to specify this to be in hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, so we are going to send in the seconds as a input param, which is going to be of type number, and we are just going to return string in the format that we want. And here I'm just going to have this check if the value that we're receiving is none or the seconds is less than 0. I'm just going to return this as this, just error handling, invalid input. Now the actual thing, let's convert this into hours first. So this, it's going to be simple. Whatever the seconds that we have, we are going to divide this by 3600, and then this minutes. So this one, the math.floor, whatever I have this seconds, get this modulus of this 3600 and divide by this 60. So this is going to give me the minutes. And finally this remaining seconds, so whatever we have, so this is going to be this math.floor, the seconds, the modulus of that 60. Okay, so now I'm just going to prepare this formatted time. So simple, so if this hours is greater than 0, okay, if this hours is greater than 0, and inside this let me just convert this into a string. So string of this hours, padding of starting like 2, I'm just going to add in this the 0, and here after this, now the minutes, the same, we'll just add the zeros at the beginning, 2 0. Okay, and after this the remaining seconds, again same thing. So it's just the simple way of formatting into the format of the time that we want. Okay, fine. So this is for this, if we have hours. If not, I'm just going to copy this and just remove the hours there. Okay, so this is going to be for that. Let me, all I'm going to do is let's just remove this hours part. Okay, yep, and finally from this function we are going to return this formatted time. Okay, so this is the helper function. So now let me just go in here to this component or the video trim component, and I'm going to maintain here the start time. Okay, so in this variable, let's name this as the start time. This calculate, did I export that? Okay, let's just, yep. Okay, so let me just use this. and pass in here this custom start time. Okay, I need to import this. Okay, why isn't this auto importing things? Okay, there is an issue which I need to fix. This utils time converter. Okay, so yep. Okay, and this end time, so let me just create this end time, so which again it's going to be this custom I'm just going to pass in here this custom end time. Okay, so now we have this start time and end time, and this one I'm just going to pass in to the component the video slider. So basically we need to send these values to a parent component in the form of on video settings change callback function. Okay, so you'll just understand what I'm talking about, and this let's just make this as a dynamic rather than hard coding. Let me just disable this, and also let's just import some videos so that we'll see this in action. So here, instead of this thing, I'm going to pass in here this custom start time and this custom end time, and also now the max value, it's going to be this video end time, the slider range, and step let's just add in this one. The class name, let's have this width as a full, and on value change, and this is very important for us to update the values so that it reflects in the UI part. Here this is going to be number array, and inside this let's have this just the I'm just going to destructure this one to start time, and this end time, which we are going to have this, and now to this on video settings change callback function. Whatever the values that we have in video settings we'll just pass in, except this custom end time would be now this end time, and the custom start time, the start time is what the it will be. Okay, this is how we are going to update the start time and end time. As of now we are not sending the actual value for this, that's why we are not seeing that. Okay, so how should we update is, let's say, okay, let's first complete this part. So after this div, let's have some div which says like the start time value along with that end time value. So the title, this is going to be the start time. Okay, and here this value, which is going to be whatever the value that we are having in this start time, and the same div will have for end time as well. So this is going to be this end time, and let me just add in this end time. Okay, and we need to style this. Okay, let's make this as the flex and justify between. Okay, and here I'm just going to have this gray color for this text, let's say 500. For this I'm just going to apply this font type, this medium. Okay, yep, so same thing for this also. Let's just add in this text as a gray color, and this font type, the medium. Okay, fine. Now we have this. So the important thing is here we need to add event listener to our loaded metadata. That's how we are going to update the video end time and also the video duration so that I can send that back to our callback function. So what I'm trying to say here is, let's try to, I'm just going to show here in this use effect on mounting, this will be called. So if you just recall, going to this condensed video, I added in where is this, yeah, video display, we have this condensed video player ID. Okay, so now we need to use this ID inside our trim component. So here first let's try to get this video. So that is document dot get element by ID, which is this condensed video player. Okay, and I'm just going to this one typecast this one to video element. Okay, and now if we have if we found this div, okay, in our DOM, we are going to handle this metadata loading. Okay, so I'm just going to name this as handle loaded metadata, and here in this, first let's get the duration in seconds. Okay, so that's what we need, duration in seconds. So this is going to be this video dot the duration, and here on video settings change callback function, what I'm going to do, whatever we have this video settings, let's just keep this. Only thing, we are going to update this custom end time which should be this duration in seconds, and also parallelly I need to update this video end time in our component, which is the duration in seconds. And here I'm just going to add in this event listener for our this loaded metadata, and pass in this handle loaded metadata function for this. And on unmounting we are just going to stop listening for this. So here I'm just going to add in this remove event listener, and this is going to be this loaded metadata, the function that we are just going to remove. Okay, so this is the thing to just to update the video end time and the things. So pretty much just the styling of this thing needs to be done. Again, this simple, like we have the text, I'm just going to keep this as smaller, and for this div let's just have this flex and justify. I'm just going to add in this between items, let's just center this, and I'm just going to add in this border bottom, just the common like we had it for the other things, and this title the trim video, and this one let's make this as a flex, justify also between the item center, just these normal standard thing like we just added for other components. Okay, yep. Now okay, so if I pass in the actual values for this the trim, let's see this one. This needs to be what do we have here, handle upload, okay, fine. So here this is the important thing, on video settings change. So how are we going to handle this? Okay, so that is important point. That's how we are going to showcase the actual start and end time in our UI part. So let's just create or else just pass in this simple the set video settings callback thing. Okay, and this disabled, let's maintain one variable for this. For now I'm just going to set this one to true. Okay, and let's see this. So ideally now let's say that I'm just going to upload this file now. Yeah, so now we have this
time, the start time and end time, the 40 seconds, and reflecting, and the able to see. And on change, okay, there is an issue, I'm not able to change this. So this one now needs to be handled. So let's go back to our video trim component. Here there is some issue. Disabled, we're sending it as a true, that's why I'm not able to change. Okay, going back to this, let's just set this to false. Okay, and now let's try to change this. Yep. Okay, so I'll be able to trim this one to the size that I want. Okay, fine, this component is working fine. Now after this one, the inputs that we wanted to collect, the quality and the toggling for our platforms and the formats of that video, we need to add in that one. So for that also, let's just quickly have a simple component, kind of like a video inputting controls component or something. So I'm just going to create in here this new file. Let's name this as the video input control.tsx. okay, in here, so whatever for trim I had the props, I'm just going to take this and prepare this type. Let's just name this as video input control props. Okay, and here I'm just going to refer them, and I'm just need to import this one. Why do we have here the issues while trying to import? That needs to be checked. I need to either restart this TS server, only then let's not worry about that. I'm just going to do this relative imports for now. Okay, fine. So I have in here this, and now let's just prepare this component. This is going to be this video input control component, and let's just destructure those values. Okay, this one, it's going to be this video control props, and the div part and all. Let me just take whatever we have in here. I'm just going to take this one, and let's just the coming down to styling, we will do that, but this one, let's just remove this written, and I need to import this motion from this framer motion. Okay, so fine, this should be, why are we still, okay, motion.div, what's the issue here? Okay, I need to import this React. Okay, so yep, now I can just copy whatever I have, and there's extra of this. Okay, fine. Now let me just restructure this, the video settings, on video settings, change disable. So inside this the div, I'm going to add in first thing the option to remove audio or not. Okay, so here the first div is for that. The text, I'm just going to add in his the remove audio. Let's just try to add in this to this component here, just below this fragment, this video input control. Why is this? I'm not able to. Okay, let me do one thing. I'm just going to restart this server and let's see if I'm still facing. Yeah, that's the issue. Fine. And here this disable, I'm just going to set this to false, and on video settings we will just update this set video settings function. On video settings I'm going to pass in this video settings. Okay, so now let's just import some video and just check that. Yeah, we have this text, and let's continue adding in. First thing, we need to, after this, the switch component. So like we already added the chassis, and I'm just going to add in this switch component. Yeah, so it's installing. Okay, fine. So I have in here the switch component, so let's try to import this one. Okay, let me just refresh this, restart this server. Yeah, so switch, and this disabled, I'm going to pass in this disable value for this, and on checked change. All we need to do is update the one of the property in our video settings. So this is going to be simple, this on video settings change. In here, whatever we have the video settings, just send those as it is, and this remove audio, I'm going to send in this value. Okay, and here after this checked, we are going to set this video settings dot remove audio value, and this is going to be that. Okay, yeah, this is the thing. And coming down to this, let's just make this one to be flex, and also justify between, and also I'm just going to center this items, and let's add some border at the bottom, margin bottom, and padding bottom. Okay, fine. And like we normally did, text size, let's just keep this one to smaller. Okay, that's this first control, removing audio. After this, I'm going to add in the toggle for Twitter. Okay, so this is for this. So the text, it's going to be this condense for Twitter. Okay, and even for this, I'm just going to take this switch component we have here, except that here I need to set for this Twitter command value, and this one I need to change this one to whatever we have this thing. Okay, fine. And then after this, we'll have for the WhatsApp status. So I'm just going to the add-in for here the WhatsApp status. So let me just add in the text as WhatsApp status. Okay, and I'm just going to remove this one, this WhatsApp, and also this command to be WhatsApp. Okay, fine. And the styling needs to be handled, which we will do in just a while. Fine. For this div, it's just going to be a simple thing. What I'm going to do, make this flex justify between, and also just have this item center, border bottom, margin bottom, and up this padding bottom. That should be fine. And also if the video settings this is true, okay, let's not, yeah, fine, I'm not going to add in anything. That should be fine. Same thing, let me just apply for below div also. Okay, yep. So that is for Twitter and then WhatsApp status. And now I will show the options to choose quality and the format only if neither of these values are selected. Okay, so that condition I'm just going to add in like this. So video settings, this Twitter compression command, and this video settings dot this WhatsApp status command. Only then I'm going to showcase this fragment, and in this fragment all the thing that we have, first thing is the quality. Okay, and here I'm going to add in this select component here. Let's use this select component. Okay, so it's added. Oh, let's again restart. I don't know, it should happen by default, but looks like it's not happening. So I'm just going to import this select and just disable. Let's just pass in this disable value. Value we are going to pass in this the video settings dot quality, and on value change we should just update that value. So this is going to be string, and inside this just get this quality, which is going to be, I'm just going to typecast this one to the quality type, and on video settings change let's just update the quality. Okay, fine. And inside this I need to have in a trigger for the option. What is the issue? Okay, it's loading, that's fine. And here the triggering point, so I'm just going to add in this select trigger. The width for this, let's just set this to 100 pixel, and text size let's just make this smaller, and the value, so let's import this value placeholder. I'm going to say this as like select quality. Okay, yep, there we go. And below this trigger we will have this content, this select content, and here I'm going to go through this the quality kind of like a list of labels and value. We need to prepare some list. So this one, let's do something just at here bottom. Let me have this the quality, and this is going to have the label which is of type string, and the value which is going to be of type this quality type, and this is going to be array. And here this label first one it's going to be high, and the value that I'm going to set in is going to be this quality type dot I. So see, we are just going to add in the labels for other two, this medium value, this quality type dot medium, and here this low value I'm just going to add in this low. Okay, so we have this list, so I can just use this now, the quality. So let's just use this so that the error that we see at the right hand side disappears. So here let me just restructure this label along with the value, and inside this all I'm going to do is use this select item component and pass in this value as the value. Okay, and this key also I'm just going to set whatever value we have. Finally this label. Okay, so let's see this. Yeah, we have high, low, medium, and the styling for this div, the quality thing, it's going to be just simple, making this flex just justify between, and let's just center this items. Okay, and also this border bottom, and also margin bottom, padding bottom. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is looking good. Okay, so the same thing, I'm just going to prepare the list for our the video formats. Let's just have this as this format. Again, this is going to be label on this one value, it's going to be of type this time this video formats, and this is what I'm going to just have for now. The first one is this mp4, and I'm just going to mention in bracket the format for that, the file extension. Okay, this video format mp4, and next the mov, so this dot mov value, let's just set this one to mov. Okay, this label mkv. Okay, so I'm just going to add in this mkv. So I think for now I'm just going to add these values, so you can add other values which we have in this list, that should be fine. Okay, and now let's just copy this div. Okay, and just below this div I'm going to add in this just we are going to change this header to format, and here on the quality, instead of this I'm going to change this to video type, and also this one let's change this to video type, and instead of this quality type, this is going to be the video formats, and here I'm just going to change this one to video type. This one should be the format. Okay, yep, and the styling, let's say I'm going to make this one to be bit more, and also the placeholder we can just select format. Okay, fine. Yeah, so okay, so now we have this. Okay, you can add in other formats. I'm just adding these three for now. So we are updating the value, everything. Yeah, so that is this the video input control component that we have. So going to this condense video component now, we have this thing, and almost I think we have whatever we need in the input format. I think let's just if I just select this, yeah, okay, we have all of the inputs, and now the important things, the condense logic. in the functions or the commands, the FFmpeg commands, and how we are passing these values to that, so that it gives us the compressed or condensed video and all that thing. So we are going to handle now, and also this styling for this div, like initial, scaling, opacity, animating and exit and all. I'll just add it at the end. Okay, so why to delay that? So let's just make this one to be layout, and initially let's scaling effect, I'm just going to add in just the animation effect for this. There's no big value here. Opacity 0, and here this animate scale, I'm going to set this to 1 and opacity to be 1, and exit, let's again set back whatever we have this in the initial 0.8, and this opacity to 0. Okay, and also this key I'm going to attach in this as the drag, and this transition effect, let's just attach here this type to be of tween. Okay, that is this thing, so that I will have good user experience. So I'm just going to apply this one to all our the components, so wherever we have here. Okay, and even for this, and even for this. Okay, yeah, even if I just refresh this now, you can see that effect, that how it is thing. So that's the effect that we just added. That's fine. Now, like I said, the commands thing. So for that, we need this FFmpeg WebAssembly. Okay, so all you need to do is open this FFmpeg.WebAssembly documentation. So here the installation, so we need to install these two things, packages, util and this one. So let's install this thing. So once we install, you can just see more details about this FFmpeg, and then the util and way to things, and they have the way to use examples and all that stuff. Okay, that we are going to see the explanation in a while. Okay, so that's, I'm just showcasing you where to find the info, more info, so that you guys can go and learn more about it. Okay, fine. Like I said, now let me add in a button at the bottom, which kind of so here let me just close this thing. Yeah, this div. So after this one, I'm just going to add in a simple div. Okay, so kind of for let's say I'm just going to separate this one outside this div, so that only these two are part of it. Okay, if you just go back here, not 1 second. Okay, sorry, it's yeah, fine. So here, now here after this, yeah, after this video input control component, I'm going to add in a div where we will have a button to get started in the condense part. Okay, and also here it's very important for us to maintain the progress and also the status of the compression of all those things. So the best way for us to keep track of is to have a state variables. Okay, so here I'm just going to create here the state variables to keep track of this progress along with the status. So this one is going to be of type number, and initially I'm just going to set this to 0. Okay, and then the status and also the time. Okay, I wanted to keep track of time, how much time it took or to condense and all that stuff. So this is for that. So set time. This one it's going to be of type the start time object, which is going to be this number, and this elapsed seconds. Okay, so this one again, this is going to be number. By default, what I'm going to set in here, this elapsed seconds to 0. Okay, fine. That is the time, and then the status which I just said. So here the status and the function to update the status, this is going to be of type, it can be like not started, or the converted, or it is condensing. Okay, so by default we will set this to not started. Okay, so this is the status variable that will be keeping track of. And now I need first the reference for our FFmpeg. So this one, so we installed that. So what I'm going to do here is just in here, first let me get the FFmpeg imported. So I'm just going to import that one. Import FFmpeg from this. Okay, so now I wanted to maintain a reference for this object. So this is how we can maintain using useref hook. Okay, so here I'm just going to use this useref hook, and inside this let's create the new object of this. Okay, fine. And so we have this, and we need a way to disable the option to trim or other things. So that we just hard coded for it to be false. So I'm just going to use this variable to dynamically update that value, like disable during compression. Okay, so this, if this status is equals to this condensing. Okay, fine. That's for that. And this one, so where exactly I'll be referring this is in our input control component here. Instead of this false, now I can just pass on this disable during compression value. Okay, so now we made this dynamic, and also the here for this trim component also. So I'm just going to send in this disable during compression value. Okay, so now we are passing in dynamic values for both of the components. Okay, yeah, and like I said, here I can just add in the button for that after this video input control component. Let's try to use this motion dot div for that. Okay, and here depending upon the status, so only if, let's say, if this status is equals to this not started, or the status is converted, only then I'll be showcasing this button. Okay, so here this is what this button. On click we should create a function which does all this compressing, condensing logic and all, which for now I'm just going to add in this placeholder, and this type it's going to be this button. Okay, let's just go back to our application. Okay, there's an error, that's fine. Okay, and here the text of this, it's going to be this condense. Okay, yeah, this is the thing, and styling for this. Okay, just go to the snap bar, and I'm just going to take all of this styling that we have for this thing, just copy this and move to this condense video component and apply this styling for this. Okay, and this div also, I'm just going to take all of these that I have here. I'm just going to apply the same thing for this. This styling alone, we will change this one. Okay, yeah. This background gray, I'm just having this 100, and also this border, let's have this gray color, and this rounded 2 times extra large, and padding of 3, and also I'm going to add in this height to fit this. Okay, and this key, it's not going to be drag, this is going to be this button. Okay, fine, and also okay, that's for that. Okay, and if we are condensing, we should have a component to show the progress, because it should reflect what is the state of the compression is in and all that stuff. So, and also once the status is converted and we have this video file, we need to show the details of the output details, like the new file size and how much it compressed and all that stuff. So let's try to first create the logic to handle the condensing and all that stuff. The important things, like I said, it's the commands. So the FFmpeg commands that I wanted to create, so that I'm going to create inside this utils folder. So let me just create a new file, and I'm just going to name that accordingly, so which is going to be this FFmpeg this commands.ts. okay, and in here we'll try to write a functions which gives us the command for respective thing, for Twitter, for WhatsApp status compression, and the custom video compression command, like based upon the quality and the format that the user is trying to select and all those things. Okay, so that is what we will be creating the functions for that. Okay, so let's create this is very important, so I'm going to explain what this each command does and everything. Okay, let's do it. So in here, first let me create a function for WhatsApp status compression command. Okay, so here I'm just going to create a function for WhatsApp status compression command, and we are going to pass in this input string and then this output, the file names, and yep. So what is it that I'm going to return here specifically? So it's the list. Okay. Yep. So first thing is the input file that we are going to specify. So this is we are going to specify, and then the actual input is what we'll be attaching. And after this, the video codec. So this signifies for encoding a video in H.264 format. So we need to specify here that is X264 format. So these all commands, you can just go to this FFmpeg documentation and search for the specific things which I'm mentioning about, and you can just read more about that inside this documentation. Okay, so fine, that was for video codec. And then the preset option. So here the preset option, so we are setting this one to very fast. So what does this mean is this sets the speed of the encoding process. Very fast in the sense it means that encoding will be very quicker, but it might not be always possible to achieve the smallest file size that's possible, but this is very good way of to achieve it. Or if we can also apply very slow option here. Okay, and then this CRF rate, and I'm going to set this to 35. So this stands for constant rate factor. Here a value of 35 I'm applying here. This indicates basically here higher value for lower quality and smaller file size. So, and if we want higher quality, we can specify here lower values. Okay, and it is going to be larger sizes if it's a lower value, and that's this constant rate factor. And then this audio, so I'm going to specify here the this is like audio codec, and we are setting this to AAC, which is widely used for audio compression. Okay, so that's this. And after this, I'm going to specify here the audio bitrate. So let's specify this to 64K. So what does this mean is this represents that audio will have a bitrate of 64 kilobits per second of a sound, which reduces the audio quality but saves space. Okay, so that is what this signifies, and that's how we are trying to compress this. And later I'm just going to add in here this move of flags to fast start. So this signifies to set certain flags for the output format. It's basically it's used to optimize the video for streaming by placing the metadata that is needed at the beginning of the file, and that is what this signifies. And after this, let's apply this max rate. So this max rate, I'm setting this to the 1000K. So this 1000K basically again it limits the maximum video bitrate. 1000K means the video will not exceed the 1000 kilobits per second, and that's what this filter is for. And after this, I'm just setting this buffer size, limiting this to 1000K. It helps manage bitrate variability to keep the average around the specified maximum. Okay, and finally the file size, I want it to be less than the 10 MB, so I'm specifying here it as 9 MB. Okay, and finally the output. Okay, so this is the command for the compressing the video for this WhatsApp status. Okay, so likewise we are going to quickly add in the options for the Twitter and other stuffs. So this should be clear, and it's going to be common for other things. So let me just copy this, and I'm going to rename this to Twitter compression command. Okay, and here input, and this is going to be I'm going to set the quality to be very high. So let me add in here the profile as high. Okay, so this is to set the quality of the video to be very high, and also the level. Okay, so here this is what I'm specifying here, this 4.2. so this what does this all signifies? Basically I'm setting the high quality of the video, and level it supports like high definition video. That is what this mean. And after this I'm going to set the pixel format. So this is how we can set this one, the pixel format to 420p. It's basically compatible with various players. Okay, so this should be enough. So let me just set this to 420p. Okay, so that's the value I'm setting for pixel format. And after this the frame rate I'm going to set to 30. so let me just add in this frame rate to 30. so the frame rate it's nothing but video is again it's a photo number of photos. So this is basically 30 frames per second. So we're going to show 30 photos per second. Okay, that's this frame rate. And bit rate. So this this one I'm just going to remove here, no preset, and also the CRF. Okay, and audio codec, let's keep this to AAC. Okay, and this one I'm going to change this to 192K. Okay, and move flags, I'll just keep this as fast stat. And also the max rate, let's change this one to 5000 bits thing. And buffer size also I'm just going to change to 5000 kilobits. Okay, and finally I will not restrict here the file size, the tune. So let's adjust this for film. Okay, so basically here the tune represents enhancing the quality for like film like content. Okay, so that's what here that signifies. And rest the normal the thing which we already talked about. Okay, so this is the command for us to compress for Twitter. Okay, so just input file we're receiving, and also the video codec set to H264, and high quality and level set to 4.2, pixel format to 420p, and frame rate 30, and the audio codec is AAC, bitrate audio bitrate 192K, and the metadata fast start, so that it will be available at the start of the streaming, and this max rate and buffer size. Okay, so this is for the Twitter compression command, and this is for WhatsApp status compression command. Okay, now let's have a custom video compression commands. So here I'm going to write in a function for that, export const custom video compression command. So here this again we are going to send in this input string, and the output string video settings, which is the going to be of type this video input settings. I'm going to import that, and we are going to return the string array. Okay, here I just need to import this one. There's always a problem of importing things, I don't know why. Yep. So now the input type, so we should get the input type. So the best way for us to get the input type is to identify the file extension. So I'm just going to have a simple helper function for me to identify the file extension given a file name. Okay, so let's just create in here this new function. Let's just the file name, let's name this as a convert, and here I'm just going to create in here this function get file extension, and the input that we are going to pass in for this is going to be the file name. And here this regex, I'm just going to prepare the pattern. Okay, so you can just refer this, just regex pattern. Okay, so I'm just trying to identify the dot and the text after that. Okay, so that is this pattern. Okay, so once we have this the match, or all, we are going to use this regex, execute this file name on this file name, and if we found that match, and I'm going to get this first value, that is what will be returning. Okay, so this is how we are going to get the extension. So once we have this extension, so in here first let me use this function to identify the input type. So let me input type, which it's going to be get okay, get file extension, and pass in this input. So once we have, so I'm going to check if the input type is equals to this mp4, then we are going to convert the mp4 to mp4 using some command. So let's just create a function for that. So basically that I'm just going to create in a function here, get mp4 to mp4 command. So here again this is going to be pretty much the same. Let me just take this input params, and here inside this let's prepare this FFmpeg command, and most of it's going to be pretty much common. So let's just take the input, and also the just take this input file, and video codec is going to be the pretty much H264. So I'm just going to use this, and after this the CRF rate, I'm going to set the constant rate factor to 23. Okay, that should be fine. And the preset, now I'm setting this to medium, not very fast. Okay, and then this audio codec, let's set this to AAC, and this bitrate to 128K. Okay, and finally this output. Okay, so this is going to be the command, and I'm going to return this command. Okay, so if that is the case, so all we are going to do is return this get mp4 to mp4 command, and pass in this the input and the output, along with that the video settings. So this is how we are going to use that. And now if it's not mp4, then we are going to write a commands for each of the things. So let's say I'm just going to, so the video settings, video type, and in here we have the video formats, all of this. Okay, so first thing mp4, then we should write a command for this, and like So it's again it's going to be similar with additional input params that we are going to add. Okay, so I'm going to, let me just try to create similar helper functions for all of them, and then we'll come back to this the switch case thing. So let me create in here. First thing, this is going to be get mp4 command, and the input, then the video codec. After this the whatever we have for this profile and the level pixel format. Okay, so let me just take this and use for this. So high video profile and the level 4.2, and also the pixel format to 420p, and then the frame rate, I'm going to set this to 30. Okay, and the max rate, let's set this one to, let's say 5000 kbits, and the buffer size also I'm just going to set that to 5000k. Okay, fine. And tuning, so basically this is what I'm just going to have this common. So okay, so it's pretty much same whatever we had for Twitter. And from here now the start time, so if we are going to take into consideration the trim section, so to specify the video start time, so we are going to use -ss, and here I need to specify the value for that, video settings dot custom start time to string. Okay, so this is going to specify the start time of the video, and then the to end time, so this is how we are going to specify, and custom end time to string. Okay, fine. So this is how we are going to trim this, and after this the quality setting, so which we have the high, medium, and low. This is how we are going to set this video quality, and here I'm just going to pass in the quality whatever the value we receive in input params. After this the CRF rate, let me set this to 18, and the codec for this we already have this, but again I'm just going to specify here the format that I want after trimming, so it to be of this H264. Okay, fine. And preset medium, and this let's just remove this, and finally the file. Okay, this is what it's going to be. The type, instead of the output, I'm going to specify here the video settings dot the video type. Okay, so this is the command. So basically just to add in the input file and the video codec H.264 format, and setting the profile very high and level to 4.2, and pixel format to 420p, and frame rate to 30. Max bit rate is for 5000k per second of a video, and buffer size is again 5000k, and tuning for the film, and the start time that we wanted to trim from, and the to which we wanted the video to end at, and the quality of the video, high, low, or minimum, and the constant rate factor like I already explained, and then the format that we wanted, again it to be this format, and then the preset medium, and this the file type. So this is the thing. And now here just we need to take into consideration one more option that we have in our settings. So if the video or settings doesn't have option to remove audio, then I need to push these commands. So basically whatever we had for audio codec. So this is going to be a AAC format, and then this bit rate I should specify here 192K. okay, and this move flags, which is the fast start. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. If we want the audio to be present in the video, else then all we need to do is to whatever the commands that we have, I need to specify here -an. Okay, so these all commands you can just search in here. So for example, you want in here this an, so search for it, so you will understand. So what does this mean? So this disables the audio stream selection for this thing and all. Okay, so just there are a lot of commands, so you can just refer to this docs. And finally I am going to push the output. Okay, and we are going to return. So this is for mp4 command. Okay, likewise I need to prepare for all of the things. Okay, so let's say now for MOV, so I'm just going to copy this whole thing and let me just change this accordingly. So let me change this one for MOV, and here FFmpeg command, and audio options I can just simplify here. So let's just add in here this audio options video settings dot remove audio. Then I'm not going to add anything else. Let's just add in this codec video audio codec format, which is this AAC, and this input, and then the video codec. Okay, and let's just remove most of the things. Okay, I'm just for MOV we don't need much of these things, so let me just remove all of the things which I really don't need. Okay, fine. So all I need is your constant rate factor, and here I'm just going to set in this quality and the audio options if we have whatever, if it's enabled based upon the value that we collect in this, and then the video format. Okay, and here I'm just going to add in this trim starting this value video or custom start time, and this end time, let me just set this to video settings dot custom end time. Okay, so that's how we are going to trim. And finally the output. See, in this one I am just going to remove this, and we are going to return the FFmpeg command. Okay, so this is for MOV command, and we have for mp4 MOV, and after this I'm going to have for mkv command. So let me just copy this MOV command, and we'll rename this to mkv command, and this is going to be pretty much the same, so there's nothing to tweak this. Okay, so this is for mkv, and after this let's have for aiv command. So here sorry, it's avi, not aiv. Okay, so in here also this it's going to be pretty much the same, the input, this constant rate factor, quality options, and trimming and output. Yep, and then I'm going to have for flv command. Okay, and this should also be pretty much the same. you can optimize this to have a single function for this thing, but I'm just trying to be more elaborative on each of the things, okay, so that we can customize for specific format. Okay, yeah, and yep, I think that should be most of it. So, and also I think for now I'm just that should be fine. So now going to our function here, if this is the case, then I'm going to use this get mp4 command and pass in this the input, output, and the video settings. Okay, and now for case video formats dot avi, so let's return this get avi command, and let's just pass in the same things for this. Okay, and next, for the next case, video formats dot mkv, let's return get mkv command. Okay, and then we have the mov, video formats dot mov, and for this I'm just going to pass in this params to the respective function. Okay, and for other things let's just I'm not supporting for now, so it's going to be pretty much same. Okay, so by default we'll just have this simple, the input, whatever we receive, and output. Okay, we're not doing anything for that. Okay, so at least now we have for mp4, avi, mkv, mov, and these things. So the commands that we want to condense or compress into format, trimming, or all that thing we have added. Now we need to make use of this. So going to our I mean, this is the commands, you can just refer more. So now here we are. So going to this our component, this condense videos thing, the as of now on click, it's just a placeholder. So now I need to somehow invoke the commands which we just created. So what I'm going to do is, let's just create a function. Before even that, we need to have a FFmpeg the resources loaded, that is the core URL and WebAssembly URL needs to be loaded. So that how am I going to handle is let me create a simple function here. I'm going to name that as a load. Okay, so basically which is going to help me download the FFmpeg core.js and core.webassembly files, and let's make this as asynchronous, and this info you can just find inside this thing. So here the core URL, so this is what I'm trying to mention. So we need to have this loaded, and only then we can perform the command operations and all. So here this FFmpeg, whatever the reference that we are trying to prepare, I'm getting the current reference of it, and here we'll use this to load the core URL, and this one to blob URL. Okay, and here I'm going to pass in our local address. So basically this HTTP localhost 3000 / download, and this FFmpeg core.js. okay, and here this is going to be text JavaScript. Okay, and this to blob URL needs to be imported from this FFmpeg util thing which we installed. Okay, this is going to help us load that core URL, and after this the WebAssembly URL. So just here I'm just adding in here await to blob URL. Okay, you can maintain this our base URL as environment variable if you need. Okay, so but I'm just using this anyway. Okay, so let's just copy this one, and here inside this, instead of this JS, WebAssembly is what you need to refer, and then this, it's going to be application slash WebAssembly. Okay, fine. So once we have, so this is the function which is going to help us load this, and to just indicate once we are on our the video page that whether we have this loaded or not, what I'm going to do, let's try to have that toast message for that, whether we have all necessary file downloaded or not, on that stuff. Okay, so here I'm just going to prepare one more thing, which let me name this as load with a toast message. Okay, so inside this we are going to use this toast, and inside promise let's pass in this load of the asynchronous function, and here if it's loading, I'm going to show in here the message as downloading necessary packages from FFmpeg for offline use. Okay, so that is what this loading message we are going to show. If it is successful, then in the message all I'm going to do is all the necessary file downloaded, something like that. You can just add in some text message. An error message also we are supposed to add. So if that is we received some error, then this is the message that I'll be showcasing: error loading FFmpeg packages, or something like that. Okay, so yep, so this is the thing, and this one we should trigger as soon as we mount this component. So that best place is to use this use effect. Okay, and call this load with toast, and also we forgot to use import that toaster here inside our main layout. Only then we can use this toast or see those toast messages. So I need to import this toaster from Sonar, and then this is how we're going to do. Okay, now we have all the packages needed for us to load. So if I just refresh this, you are seeing this. Okay, there is error loading is okay. What is that error? We did try to load where is this localhost 3000 in the FFmpeg core.js and the thing, but we are receiving an error. So let me try once again. Okay, there is an error that we are receiving while we are trying to download. Just let me check that error. So the error is I forgot to add this files downloaded into this public download folder, so that's why we are seeing that. Okay, so let me just collapse all of that, and I'm just going to create in here this new public folder, and inside this let's have this download folder. So for you to download, just go to this base URL and to this respective file and download, and download those files into this respective folder. Okay, so I'm just going to copy those files into this location. So let me just paste that. Okay, I'm I'm just deleting this. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so now we have these files, and if I try to load in here, let me try to load this again. Yeah, now we can see the toast message, all necessary file are downloaded, so that means it's successful. So we have this FFmpeg that we want, and we can now perform the commands that we just added. So for this to happen, there's still a lot of work, to complete. So in here now we have this thing. Let me create a function called a condense. Okay, on clicking on this condense button, we should perform this all the respective command operations. So I'm going to name this as this condense, and here this is going to be asynchronous. And inside this, first we will check we have this video file or not. If not, we are just going to return from here, and let's try to handle this logic inside this try catch block. First thing is set this time to whatever we have this time, and the start time I'm going to set this to a new date. Okay, fine. And what is this? Okay, the type for the instead of that to be number, I'm going to change this to date. Okay, and now we shouldn't see any issues with respect to type. And for catch, let's just add in this. Okay, fine. Now we are setting the start time to the thing that the new date. After this, the status needs to be updated to condensing. Okay, so once we are updating the status, the FFmpeg ref.current, we are going to start listening onto this progress event and collect back the progress. I'm just going to rename this to completion, and this here let's just rename this to completion, and this one to time. And inside this, let's convert this into percentage. So it's nothing but the completion multiplied by 100, and the progress, I'm going to update whatever the value that I'm receiving in the percentage to progress variable. Okay, fine. And here we can listen onto this logs event also, just to see if we are wanted to see the messages and all that stuff. So I'm just going to console here for now. I'm not going to do anything inside for that. So here let me just console here this message. Okay, and okay, fine. Now the actual thing, we should try to convert this. Okay, we did create all the commands and all, but the function where we pass in the FFmpeg reference and also the video file and video settings, it will be better if we have a separate function for that. So if I just show you here, we need to execute. So yeah, this commands, this is how we are supposed to execute, and that I'm going to create a one function inside this file called the convert.ts. Let's just create this default asynchronous function called this convert file, and we are going to pass in here this FFmpeg, which is going to be of type this, and the action file of type the file actions. Okay, and this video settings, which is of type video input settings. Okay, and the return type for now I'm just going to be very generic here. Let me just mention this as the any. Okay, fine. And now let's try to destructure from this action file the thing that we want, that is the file name and the file type. So once we have from this, I'm just going to get the output. So let's just create a helper function which is going to help me to remove the file extension. I just want a name of that. Okay, so here this remove file extension, passing in this file name which is going to be of type string. Here just the simple thing, last dot index. We can just get this from the last index of this dot, and whatever we have before the dot, that's what we need. So if this last dot index is not equals to -1, that means we have this dot, and the file name it's going to be slice of 0 to this last dot index, else I'm just going to return this file name. Okay, so simple helper function. So now we have this the function, so remove file extension and pass in this file name, and after this I'm going to add in the whatever the type that the user has specified. Okay, so here this video type, and that is what I'm going to that is how I'm going to change the output. And after this we are going to write this file and use this fetch file by passing in this file. Okay, fine. So you can see here exactly how it's referred in the usage example also. Okay, so once we write this, and this is where we collect our command. Okay, so if this video settings, first let's just check for Twitter compression command. If that is the case, so here I'm going to pass in this Twitter compression command. For this the file name and then the output. Okay, if that is not the case, then we are going to check if video settings dot WhatsApp status compression command. Then we will use this WhatsApp status compression command and pass in this file name and the output, or else we will just pass in this custom video compression command. For this we need to pass in this the file name, along with that the output, the video settings. Okay, okay, what is the issue? Okay, let me just break down this one. Okay, video settings, if that is a thing, we're going to use this. This one should be, yep. Okay, fine. Yeah, I think this should be very clear. Okay, that's the command that we have now, and we can just log on this command for our reference, command.join by space. Okay, fine. And after this, all we need to do is call in this exec by passing in this command that we have. And later I can collect this data by FFmpeg.read file from this output, and I'm just going to convert this to blob by creating a new blob object. This blob, let's pass in this data, and this type I'm going to specify here this file type dot by just splitting by slash, and the first value it's going to give us the file type. And finally let's create this URL using this URL dot create object URL by passing in this blob. And at the end we are going to return this URL, the output, and the output a blob. Okay, so I'm just going to attach in this here this blob. Okay, so this is the ultimate function that is going to help us convert the file to the inputs that the user selects from the UI. Okay, yep. So now we have this function. So going to this condensed video, in here I'm going to use the function which we just created. Here let's just use this convert again. Yeah, let me just restart. Okay, so convert file, I'm going to, okay, did we, that's fine. So let me just import here. Yep, convert file. So we have here convert file. For this, the FFmpeg reference should be passed. After this, the video file, and then the video settings. And here we are going to destructure this URL and the output, then this output blob. Okay, so these are the three values that we'll be collecting. Once we receive this, I am going to set the video file whatever we have received. So video file, additionally the URL and the output and this output blob. Okay, and after this we are going to update the time, that is I'll just set the start time to undefined. This is how we can just do hold time and hold time, and this start time, let's just set this to undefined. So this is how we are going to update, and the status should be updated to converted because we are done, and also this progress, let's just set back this to 0. Okay, so that's how we are going to update the time, status and progress. And if there is any error, okay, so here let's in any error, we can just console that error and see what is the problem. And also the status, we should update that to not started, and also the progress, we'll just set this to 0, and the time that I wanted to add in this elapsed seconds to 0, and start time, let's set this to undefined. And we are just show this toast error message saying that error condensing video, okay, something this message. So this is the ultimate function which really helps us to condense the video. Okay, so now we have this thing. What I can do in the button on click thing, I can just use this condense function which we created. And also we still have a lot of things here, that is to if the status is condensing, the video progress should be showcased, and also the output details and all. So first let's focus on this progress component. So here just a while we'll see this output. In here, this video condense progress.tsx. okay, so here export const video condense progress, and here I'm just going to create the props for this. That will be sending is this progress, which is going to be of type number, and the seconds again, which is going to be of type number. And let's just destructure that progress and seconds, and I'm just going to import here this React and this div. Inside this we'll have based upon progress, if there is a value, we'll show the text as condensing, or else the text should be like loading video, and then I'll have the loader. And also I need to show the value of the progress. Okay, that one, what I'm going to do, let's take the component from this shard.cn. So I'm just going to add in this progress component. Okay, so we have that progress component. Okay, now I'm just going to use that in here. Inside this one, I'm just going to wrap everything inside this div. Okay, so if the progress, I'm going to show here this text as condensing. Okay, if not, okay, we'll have the text as like a loading video. Okay, and just next here I'm going to add in this the loader icon. Okay, so from this leaf said react, so okay, fine. So I'm just going to use this loader icon, and for just to we need to apply this animate spin effect, and also the width and height I'm going to set this to 4. Okay, fine. And after this one, let's have this the time. Okay, and this one we need to show again in the proper format. Again, it's better that we have a helper function for this. So for that also I'm just going to create similar way a function which is going to help me format this time. Format time, we are just going to pass in here the seconds in the number, and the return type it's going to be a string. Here this seconds, I'm just going to round this the seconds value that I get, and the hours. Okay, we already have this here. Where is this time converter? So I'm just going to take this thing. Okay, fine. Remaining seconds and all. So here I just have this formatted time, which is going to be empty string. So here if this hours is greater than 0, then the formatted time I'm going to append the hours to HR. Okay, fine. And inside this itself, if minutes is greater than 0 or this remaining seconds is greater than 0, then the formatted time I'm just going to add in this empty string. Okay, fine. That's for this. And now the minutes. Okay, so if this minutes is greater than 0, formatted time, so it's going to be the simple one. I'm just going to convert this minutes to string. Okay, and add in this minute. Okay, and here if this remaining seconds is greater than 0, then I'm going to add in this empty space. Okay, fine, empty string. And finally, if remaining seconds is greater than 0 or the formatted time is equals to this empty string, then the formatted time we are going to add in this the remaining seconds. Okay, this can be written in multiple ways. I'm just writing this in this way. Okay, fine. And finally I'm just going to return this formatted time. So simple helper function which is going to help us format the time. So we have this, and going to this progress. Yeah, here I need to use this function now. So let me import that function, this format time seconds. Okay, so this is what I'll be this I need to import. Let me just import this one. Yep, so I'm just going to remove this. Okay, and after this we are going to show this progress component. All we are going to do is pass in this value, which is this progress. Yep, the styling and all, I'll just do this in a while, but we have this a progress component, and this needs to be used inside this component. For now, let's just see this, how it's going to look like. Okay, so video condense progress, and for this we need to pass in these values, the progress here, and also the seconds, which it's going to be this time dot elapsed seconds. Okay, yeah, you can see that this is how it's looking. We need to style that, and also this should be showcased only if the status is condensing. Okay, so just before that I just wanted to complete this styling, and then we can add that logic to showcase only when it needs to be shown. Let's make this as a flex so that they are next to each other, and also justify between. And also items, I'm just going to center, gap of 2, padding of 0.5. okay, and this let's add in this flex 1, and for this again I'm making this as a flex, justify between, and test text, make this as a smaller, some margin bottom, and for this progress let's make this also the flex, gap of 2, and the items I'm just going to center. Okay, I think now it's starting to look better, and for this let's just make this text size to be smaller. Okay, yeah, I think this should be good. Fine, so now I'm just going to add in this logic that this should be showcased only if the status is condensing. So I'm just going to add in this logic and move this component here. Okay, so for showcasing progress we have, and now the thing that we need to address is to show the output details once we have the converted file. So for that let's have a simple component again, like we had for input details. So here let's create this as the video output details.tsx. okay, and this one, let's name this as this output details, and here the props that I will be sending to this component, it's going to be this video file, which is of type this file actions. This needs to be imported. Okay, so okay, okay, that's because yep, so this file actions, and then the prop, the time taken, how long did it take. So I'm just going to make this as a number. Okay, so let's just destructure those values. Fine. So here let's wrap everything inside the motion.dew. So let's import this motion from this framework motion. Okay, so motion.dew, and inside this we'll show first the title of the output file and also the badge check icon, that like it's successfully completed and all that stuff, and after that the button to download that file. Okay, and then the new file size, the size of it, then how much percent did we reduce the file, and all those details I'm going to add in here. But before that, okay, so let me just add in this headers in this div. So this div is for this header, so I'm going to say this as this output file. Okay, let's integrate this into this component, and then we will see that in action. So this one, after this, again this needs to be showcased only if status is converted and we have the video file, but for now I'm just going to add in this anyway. So video output details, this time taken, this is going to be this time dot elapsed seconds, and then the video file I'm going to add in this component. Okay, let's just say this is okay. So let me just add in this file here. Okay, now let's go to this component. We have this output file. Now this needs to be styled and completed, and here I'm going to add in this badge check icon. So this is going to be just the rounded, let's say full. Okay, and the fill color, let's make this as a complete black. Okay, so I'm just making that as the black, and I need to close this component. Okay, so that is this output file and badge check icon thing. And after this I'm going to add in here this button. Okay, for now nothing inside this. I'm just going to add in this download text. Styling, we'll do this. Then after this div, let's have a div with the text which says this as the new file size. This is going to be this text. I need to calculate this output file size. So how are we going to do is, so whatever the output blob that we receive inside the video file, we need to calculate that size. Okay, so for that also it's better if you try to have a helper function. That one let's create inside our bytes to size thing. So here I'm just going to create one simple function called this calculate the blob size, and here we are going to send in this blob as the input param. This is going to be an optional, and the return type we are going to return the string here. And this units, I can just take this units. Okay, so this is what this units it's going to be. And first this size, if we have this blob, I'm going to get the size or else the 0, and let's have this unit index set to 0, and now while size is greater than or equals to 1024, and this unit index is less than this units dot length minus 1, then we are just going to keep on dividing by 1024. Okay, and I'm just going to increment this unit index, and finally we will have this size. So I'm just going to return this size dot fixed 2 rounded to 2, and here we are just going to add in this units of this of the current unit index value. What's the problem? Yeah, this needs to be closed here. Okay, let me, okay, yeah, and also here we have the size dot to fixed, and yeah, this should be dollar. Okay, yeah, so we have this the helper function to calculate this blob size, and here at the beginning of this component, let's just utilize the function which we just created. So I can just capture that value into this variable const the output file size, and let's just import this calculate blob size thing by passing on this output blob. Okay, and also we need a way, again a function to how much size it is reduced and by what percent and all that thing. Okay, same thing, it's just a simple thing. So like we just created here, I'm just going to create a simple function. So this reduce size, here this bytes, which is going to be number, and along with that this blob, which again it's going to be optional, this blob, and we are going to return here this size reduced, which is going to be the of string, so basically how much it reduced, and also this percentage, which is going to be a string. Okay, so this is what I'll be returning from this function. And how do we calculate this? First, the blob size in bytes, so let's just collect that into this variable blob dot size, or else let's just have this 0 value, and the adjusted size in bytes we are going to collect into this variable. So this one math dot max of this whatever the bytes we have, subtracting by blob size in bytes. Okay, so this is what the adjusted size in bytes should be, and now all we need to do is calculate this percentage the reduction, which is the just straightforward whatever we have your blob size in bytes. If this is greater than 0, then all we need to do is divide this adjusted size in bytes by the bytes multiplied by 100, or I'm just going to set this to 100. Okay, fine, and here let me so this, if it's greater than 0, we'll calculate in this way, or else the 100, and I'm just going to fix this one to 2 digits. Fine, yep, and all we need to do is return this now. So return size reduced, this would be the bytes to size by passing in this adjusted size in bytes, and the percentage reduction. Okay, so this is going to give us those two values which we need inside this component, and now I can make use of this and collect those values. So here this also we are going to import this reduce size, and here this video file dot file size is what we'll be passing, and then video file dot output blob is the other param. The size reduced and the percentage, I'm going to collect this one. Okay, so now we have these two values. Yep, now we can use this new file size. This is going to be the output of file size. Okay, and we don't have the thing, that's why it's showing 0 in the UI. That's fine. And here the size reduced in percentage, so size reduced, I'm going to show this as a percentage, and this one it's going to be the percentage value. Okay, and after this the original file size and then the size reduced and the time taken. I'm just going to show inside this. Let's add in here the original file size. So this is going to be the bytes to size of this video file dot this file size. Okay, that's the original file size, and then the size reduced. So here let me just add in this title, size reduced. We need to show this here, the value size reduced. Okay, and also the time, how much it took. So I'm just going to add in here this information, that is this time taken. And if we have this time taken, I'm going to show this one by using this format time function which we have, by passing in this time taken as an input param. Else I'm just going to show this hyphen. Okay, fine. So, and one more thing that we have is, on clicking this download, we should download the file. So pretty straightforward. The functionality that how do we do is just create an anchor tag element and then trigger click event on that and remove that as a child once we are done with that. So this is going to be simple. So download, if we don't have this video file dot URL, then we can just return this. Okay, else let's first create this document dot create element of type this anchor, and this style dot display, we are going to hide this. So that means this style should be display should be none, and this href we are going to attach this video file dot URL. Okay, and also this download, let's put this video file dot output on, and then we should now append this as a child. So document dot body, appending this as a child, this one, and then I'm going to trigger this click event on this. And once we are done with that, I'm going to revoke this object video file URL, and then just remove this again as the child from this body, remove child, this one. Okay, and all of this needs to be attached when we click on this download button. So I can just attach in here on click the download function. Okay, fine. Now a lot of styling needs to be done. Okay, let's do it one by one. So first thing, for whatever we have for this div, motion div, I'm just going to use that styling. Okay, just the initial scale effect, animate, exiting, and this one, instead of drag, this is I'm just going to attach in the key as the output, and transition tween. Okay, and remaining, it's just going to be pretty much the same. And now coming from the top down, this text, whatever we have under this div, I want it to be small size. And this one, let's make this as a flex. Okay, and the justify, let's apply this as a between, and the items, let's center them, and the border bottom and margin at the bottom, and also padding some at the bottom. Okay, so yep. And coming down to this again, let's make this as a flex. Items, I'm going to center this, and let's have this gap of 1. Yep, and now it's looking better. And the button, the type, this should be of type button, and the styling, whatever we have for our nav bar. So I'm just taking this styling. So let's just use this styling. So to our this download button. Okay, yeah, so that's the styling for this. And after this, for the divs that we have below, it's going to be pretty much same for all of the divs. Justify, between, and then just the commons, making it as a flex. Okay, and item center, border, bottom, margin at the bottom, and also some padding. Okay, so this is going to be pretty standard for all the below divs. So I'm just going to apply the same for all of these divs. Okay, and now coming down to the font type, so it's going to be this semi bold. Okay, so all of these things, so let's just apply this. Okay, yeah, this should be fine. And also this time taken alone should be styled. This one again, flex, justify, between, items, I'm just going to center. Okay, yeah, now we are almost are done with this component, so it's looking better. So now let's go to this main component where we have all of this integrated, and this should be changed based upon the status alone. So I'm just going to change this one. So if this status is equals to converted, and only we have this audio video file, only then I'm going to render this component, else I'm not. So this is how we are going to render this, and now this is how we are hiding. Okay, I think pretty much we all are almost there. So now all we are left to do is to test this out. We have this condensed logic in place and the commands that we are trying to perform. Okay, and yep, and also yeah, one more thing I just forgot is we the time difference that should be real-time updated while we are progressing it. Okay, so that we need to handle that. Let me create that logic inside this use effect. So based upon whatever the value that it is changing in the time, we should perform this logic. So what is it that we need to perform this logic is, let's create this timer which is going to be of type node.js dot timeout, and if this time dot start time, then this timer I need to use this set interval, and here first let's get this end time, which is I'm just going to create new date object. The time difference I should calculate in this way, this time difference, end time dot get time, and subtract this from this current time, the start time time dot get time. Okay, fine, and later I need to update this time, the elapsed seconds. Now we will have this time difference in our time variable, and this one every second. Okay, and after this I just need to, on unmounting, we are just going to clear this interval, this timer that we have. Yeah, okay, so that should be pretty much everything that we want. And now if we try to perform the code logic, it should work just like we expect it to work. Okay, so I think it's pretty much everything is in place. Okay, so now let's test it. So I'm just uploading this here, this video. So now I wanted to condense for Twitter. Okay, whatever the command that we so if you want, I am just consoling the logs also, so I can just show this. Click on this. Yeah, we can see it's condensing the seconds, and we can see the frames at which this process is happening and everything, and pretty much it's working the way I want. So like I said, this is going to take time depending upon the duration and also the size of the video, and also the hardware capability of our machine that we are running this in. So it's going to take time, but I'm going to wait and see this complete in action, and then if it's working or not, once we confirm that it is working, then we'll wrap this up by just adding few the hero section and also the video gif inside our the landing page. Okay, and that should be the end of this application. So I'm just waiting for this to complete. So meanwhile, I think the FFmpeg commands, I think it's really important. I really like if you guys delve deeper into it, because I really believe it's always in the coming year it's going to be about videos more than about text. So if we know how to play with videos, it would be really good skill. Okay, okay, let's wait, it's condensing. Okay, okay, so now we have this the file converted, and it's ready to download. So the new file, it's reduced from 80.9 MB to 8.46 MB, and the size reduced was this percentage, and this was original file size, and this much reduced, and this much time it has taken. It did take a lot of time because there are a lot of things on my system and I need to clean that, and it's a good indication of that. But now you're almost there inside this video page. Almost all the functionality, it's working good. And on clear part, I think it's not yet handled. So here, yep, so this one, what I need to do is I need to add in a option to clear that. So let's just not to complex it anymore. I'm just going to reload this again. So window.location.reload. okay, fine. Then this should be working, and let's just check the download functionality, and we should be able to download also. So clicking on this, so I have this the downloaded version and the video that I have. Okay, so pretty much that is what I wanted to cover in this page. Now we are all done with the core feature. So the important thing here is FFmpeg. Okay, getting used to its commands. How can we leverage WebAssembly or technology and try to run this inside our the web browser. And that is what I wanted to show in this video, and I think I was a little helpful in showcasing of running FFmpeg commands in our browser. Now I just wanted to complete this by just finishing the things in our main page section. So here what I need to add, or what I wanted to add in here is a simple thing. Okay, so just the let's just remove whatever we have by default in here. I'm just going to restrict this one. So let's now just go to this main page. This is what we have. So I'm just going to add in this max width, the margin X in the auto, I mean equal margin in the X direction, and some padding at the top, and space in the Y direction 16. If it's a smaller screen, space in the Y direction 32. Okay, fine. And now inside this I wanted to prepare a simple hero component where I wanted to show the title of it and all that stuff. So I can quickly prepare in here this simple file about simple component. This is not much of a value. If you want, you can ignore the video from here, but just we need to showcase something so that it conveys the intent of this application. Okay, so inside this I'm going to add in here some text here. So let me add in let's say I'm just adding this, you can just ignore this. Okay, let's do it folks. Okay, so this is the message that I wanted to add in, and this one let me try to import into did I export this? No. So here export default hero. Okay, and I wanted to import here this component. Okay, so let's just import this component. Okay, now going here we should see this text now on our home page, and that's because the text color I need to change. So the text, let's make this as a gray color, like 600. No, but still, why is it? Yeah, I got it. And the reason is this, it should be, yep, and also this one. Now we should, yeah, we have this, and I'm just going to add in this emoji icon. If you want, you can just add this or else ignore. Okay, fine. And after this I'm just going to add in this icon greater thing. Okay, and below this let's have this header, just below this the header, which I'm going to say this as the condense videos. And after this I'm going to add in the text which says something like just eliminate oversized files, and I'm going to say in the text as a reduce video size by some, let's say 90%. Okay, so here in this pan you can say it as like 90%, and without sacrificing something, I'm just adding some text here. Okay, sacrificing quality and all blah blah stuff, all while working offline. Okay, so this is the text, and yeah, and below this I'm just going to add in a div, and we'll have this the link to the video page. So I'm just going to add in, and the text for this I'm going to add in this as the condense now. Okay, yeah, I think this should be it. And now let's style this. So coming down to styling, first thing is simple, let's have some padding at the top, and also if it's a medium, let's just increase this padding, and in the X direction I'm going to add a 6, and if it's a larger screen, nothing. Okay, and now for this thing, let's make this one as the flex and center this items. Okay, and a gap I'm going to want in the X direction 1.5. Text, let's make this one 2 times extra large. Okay, and also I'm going to add in this border, and let's have some border color, gray color 200, and I want this to be rounded, so let's just round this completely. And padding in the X direction, let's say 3. In Y direction I'm going to add in this 1.5, and margin in the X direction auto. Width, let's set this to fit, and bottom I'm going to add in this 8. Okay, so now it is looking okay, fine. Text, if you want, you can reduce the size, that's fine. Okay, and now the text, this thing I'm going to change this to a smaller size, and also the text, if it's a smaller screen, let's change this to base. Okay, that's the styling for this main div. And for this main text should be at the center, and the size of it, we are going to change this to 4 times XL, and font to be bold. If it's a medium screen, let's increase the font to 5 times extra large, and if it's a larger, text should be 7 times extra large. Okay, and again font semi bold. Text color, let's change it to gray, and here let's apply this text balance. Okay, that's the title of our application, and the one liner. So just let's apply this text to be larger with a smaller screen. Okay, maximum width, let's set this to 4 times not XL. Okay, and margin in the X direction, let's have this auto, and the text color, let's change this one to gray. I'm going to change this to 500, and maximum, let's have this maximum width, we already have, that's fine. And text, I'm going to set this to center, some margin top. Okay, yeah, I think that is looking good. And after this, the final div that we are going to style here, let's say flex and gap of 4, and let's just center this item. So even justify, I'm just going to center this. Margin top, let's add in 10. Even the bottom, I'm just going to add in 10. Okay, and the styling for this, it's just the this whatever we have, let's just use this, and here I can just apply this. Okay, yep. So yeah, I think it's looking decent, if not better. This is what we added. And the other thing I wanted to add in the small GIF, so let's just create in here this new component. Let's name this as the video or demo or something like that. Okay, and here this is going to be a simple component, video demo. Okay, so here I'm just going to add in this div. First, let's make this one to be relative, and this is going to be very simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare in a GIF of let's import this image from this next image. Okay, and here the width I'm going to set this to 400, and height I'm going to set this to 700. Okay, and the source we need to attach, I have prepared a GIF for this, and I'm going to assign this styling. I'm going to and the alt I'm going to add in this text as the demo. Okay, now coming down to Jeff, I have here the GIF prepared. So all I'm going to do is, so the folder that we have here public, I'm going to add into this public folder. So this is the demo that I prepared. So opening here, I'm just going to add in this demo3.gif. okay, now you can just use this. This one I need to, okay, and let me just export this video demo component. Okay, so I just wanted to add it to our main page and see how it is going to look like, and then I can change this one. Okay, so this one, let me just import this component. Yep, video demo. Okay, so I just wanted to check now. So yeah, this is how it is. Now it should be styled. So going here, the image needs to be styled like I said. So first of all, let's assign here this height as a full, and also this rounded 3 times extra large, and width also, let me just set this to full. And the object, I'm going to set this one to cover. Okay, and this border of 8 overflow, I'm just going to apply this clip. Okay, I think, yeah, now it should be looking good. Not this. Yeah, okay, so this is the thing. I think that is looking good. Pretty much this is what I wanted to cover. And also just let me just double check if I wanted to add anything. Yeah, I think yes. So this is what I wanted to talk about in this application, and hopefully I think I provided some value to you guys, some new learning, if not all, but some part of it. If you can take away from this video is FFmpeg, and if it's useful for you, all I ask of you is to like, share, and do subscribe, and please stay tuned to this channel. There will be a really lot more exciting content coming up your way. Thank you so much.